At 5 o'clock in the morning, just before dawn, Mr. Liu, a seasoned camel handler from Yeya Spring Village, carefully fastens the saddles onto his camels. Every morning, before he sets out, Liu's wife always prepares a bottle of homemade souherb, an ancient natural fermented beverage for him. In August, the number of tourists visiting the Yeya Spring Scenic Area at the Mingsha Mountain, also known as the Singing Sand Dune, surges dramatically. Riding a camel up the dune has become a must-do experience for many visitors. From early morning, caravans take turns ascending the slopes, the rhythmic chime of camel bells echoing across the sands, evoking the grandeur of the Silk Road from 1,000 years ago. Back in the 1980s, when Dunhuang's tourism industry was still in its infancy, the villagers of Yeya Spring discovered that offering camel rides was far more profitable than traditional farming. Soon, households across the village began to raise camels, and every family had its own camel handler. Today, Yeya Spring Village boasts over 3,000 camels, solidifying its reputation as China's most renowned camel village. In the peak of summer, the surface temperature of the Dunhuang Desert soars beyond 60 degrees Celsius, so intense that even the hardy camels struggle to endure the heat. The camel handlers, however, have a time-honored remedy to combat the heat: souherb, a cooling elixir made from fermented vegetables and passed down through generations. More effective than any modern beverage, it not only quenches thirst, but also helps lower body temperature. With just one sip, even the bloodstream feels cooler. The fence outside Liu's home is draped with climbing vines known locally as lamb's milk pod. Its fruits resemble bean pods. When gently squeezed, they release a thick, milky sap, which is fragrant and sweet. To prepare souherb, freshly washed celery is cut into long pieces, while the cabbage is halved. Then, place them into a clay jar along with the lamb's milk pods. Cooled noodle soup is then poured in, and finally, a small amount of souherb is added to jumpstart the fermentation process. From there, time and microorganisms will work their unseen magic. In northwest China, celery and cabbage are essential ingredients for making souherb. But what set Dunhuang's version apart is the addition of lamb's milk pods, which are rich in lactic acid bacteria. This not only speeds up the fermentation, but also enhances the flavor, giving Dunhuang souherb a unique tangy and refreshing aroma. In the peak of summer, it takes just 2 days for the souherb to ferment to perfection. A spoonful of hot oil is drizzled over the chopped scallions before being added to the souherb, enhancing its color and deepening its flavor. This simple step imparts a savory aroma while mellowing the souherb's sharp acidity. In Dunhuang, locals love pairing it with noodles, as souherb serves both as a refreshing drink and a flavorful broth for noodles and stews. It may resemble noodle soup, but is clearer than noodle soup itself. It appears to be a beverage, yet it boasts a depth of flavor far richer than many beverages.
算是还贵算哦，你知道。
酱水和擀面确实绝配。
Once you dig in a bowl of souherb noodles, a coolness washes over you, like a breeze sweeping through your insides. The tangy flavor, paired with the aroma of noodles, lingers on your tongue, a sensation that lasts long after the meal. For most people, the hustle of daily life revolves around the 3 meals a day. Yet, it is precisely in these simple, everyday meals that they find contentment and ease. To them, the best food is simply what can be shared with loved ones.
东皇小吃面好吃的。
The food depicted in Dunhuang's murals often appears as offerings, mostly in the form of flatbreads. Based on historical records from Dunhuang, experts have identified over 60 varieties of flatbread, highlighting the remarkable diversity of wheat-based foods in the region. In ancient Dunhuang, even noodles were referred to as a type of flatbread, locally known as souherb. Today, a wide variety of flatbreads still fill the streets of Dunhuang, preserving flavors that have lasted for over 1,000 years.
芥末多，蒜汁多是吧？
辣不少啊，
辣子少一点啊。
吃多了。
吃多一点。
While many of the flatbreads documented in historical texts have lost their original names, their preparation methods have been faithfully preserved. For instance, the food recorded as langyang in ancient texts is actually what is now widely known as cold-skin noodles. Though the rest of China has adopted this modern name, the people of Dunhuang still stick to its original name, yangpi.
东方凉皮啊，就是老传统凉皮子，供日还是按以前的手洗的一种方式。
The dough is repeatedly rinsed to separate the starch from the gluten. After removing the protein mass, the starchy liquid is left to settle for about 8 hours. Once settled, the yellowish liquid on top is carefully drained, leaving the perfect base for making the cold-skin noodles.
这就是我们东方的老凉皮子，我都已经干了20多年了。
The starchy liquid is poured into a shallow, flat pan and evenly spread out by repeatedly moving the pan, a process known in Dunhuang as swirling. After about 3 minutes, the yangpi sheet is ready. In Dunhuang, the best sheet should be as thin as a cicada's wing, yet as chewy as glass noodles. No edible alkali is added, and the sheet must not be too thick. What's desired is a crystal clear appearance and a silky smooth texture. The gluten is cut into pieces, and the rangpi sheet is sliced into strips. The gluten is dense and elastic, while the transparent, jade-like strips are smooth and tender. A spoonful of vinegar sauce, made from over 10 different spices, is added, along with a spoonful of spicy mustard garlic sauce and a spoonful of fiery chili oil. Now, the authentic Dunhuang cold-skin noodles are ready to serve.
东方凉皮，好吃的得。
Xianbing, or Chinese crepe, has become a popular food across China and even worldwide. In Dunhuang, there are various styles of crepes, one of which is the Tonka bean crepe. Tonka beans, introduced to China during the Song dynasty, bring an exotic fragrance that has become an essential ingredient in Dunhuang's wheaten food. In their pursuit of both aesthetics and nutrition, Dunhuang chefs also add the batter with vegetable juices from carrots, purple cabbage, and spinach, creating crepes that are as visually striking as they are delicious. Chopped fresh bell peppers or dried chili peppers are first stir-fried until their aroma is fully released, then mixed into the batter and slowly simmered. Finally, a rich and flavorful spicy sauce is ready, a time-honored recipe passed down from the grandmothers of Dunhuang. While the traditional Shandong-style crepe is often paired with scallions dipped in sauce, Dunhuang's version finds its perfect match in this fiery, spicy sauce. The combination of wheat's natural fragrance, the bold spiciness of the chili, and the rich undertones of tonka bean creates an unforgettable culinary experience.
东皇四面饼子，好吃的得。
A line from Tang Dynasty poet Liu Changqing's Rhapsody on Wine, preserved in the documents of the Dunhuang Cave of Scriptures, reads, "Silver bells chime as crispy wild camel is laid upon the feast." This evocative verse suggests that, long ago, camels may have also been a delicacy on local tables. Camel hooves are large and plump, with firm, finely textured meat that is dense and rich in collagen. To make a camel hoof feast, the hooves are first carefully cleaned to remove the hair, then being soaked in cold water for 3 days. Next, they are slow braised over low heat for around 8 hours, alongside chicken pieces and duck feet to enhance flavor. As they simmer, the once tough hooves gradually soften, developing a tender texture and a deep, rich flavor. At the center of the hoof lies the tiuhuang, 2 fibrous tissues, the most flavorful part of a camel. Plump, succulent, and silky in texture, it is prized for its indulgent mouthfeel. In a creative culinary twist, chefs have crafted a dish known as Snow Mountain Camel Hoof. To evoke the snow-capped Chilean mountains, egg whites are whipped into a frothy foam, then steamed into delicate peaks resembling rolling snowdrifts. When plated, the camel hoofs, nestled within this edible landscape, seamlessly blend into the snowy scene, offering a feast for both the eyes and the plate. Every year, during the Mid-Autumn Festival, small clay kilns in the courtyards of Dunhuang's villages come into play. The men carefully tender the fire, feeding the kilns with sturdy firewood like grapevines and red willow roots. As the flames roar, the heat radiates through the kiln's walls, making it ready for the arrival of the flatbread. To make authentic Dunhuang mooncakes, Do Yaixin makes a special trip from the downtown to the countryside. She begins by using a levain as a starter, ensuring proper fermentation of the dough. A well-risen dough, speckled with tiny honeycomb-like holes, is a sign of success. To enhance both fragrance and flakiness, Sichuan peppercorn-infused water and clear oil are mixed into the dough. For the people of Dunhuang, seasonings are not limited to stir-frying or meat stewing. They are often incorporated into flatbreads and steamed buns as well. Ancient manuscripts from the Dunhuang Cave of Scriptures mention ingredients like Sichuan peppercorns and wild fennel as common seasonings for baked goods.
黄颜色都出来了，那种感觉。
有可能，但是这样加好就行。
做差不多就行了哦。你就把这面刷，这面只有刷好，我先把这个放。
This giant mooncake, measuring up to 15 inches in diameter, provides creative women with the perfect canvas for decoration. Some press intricate designs onto its surface, featuring motifs like the 3 hares from Dunhuang murals, or the ornate Baoxiang flower. Others shape flowers and leaves by hand, embedding their Mid-Autumn Festival wishes into every delicate detail.
你看冷了，这里面好吃不好吃？
一软，这个肉是海南冷冻的这些吗？
For children, what's truly irresistible is the stuffed mooncake, but the filling of Dunhuang is a little different. Mid-autumn coincides with the ripening season of the fruits of silverberry, a hardy desert tree that thrives along the edges of the Gobi Desert. Its branches are laden with small cherry-like drupes. The fruits are either hand-rubbed or crushed to separate the flesh from the kernels. The pulp is then sieved and steamed to remove their astringency, transforming into a fragrant, sweet, and sour filling for mooncakes.
养只老虎，跑得快，4面2步，3弯不一。
多少多年前？哦，多年前。香不香？
香，大声说啊！
香。而且这个。
As the fire gradually dies down and the heat fully permeates the clay kiln's walls, it's the perfect moment to place the mooncakes inside. The kiln door is shut and sealed with a soaked burlap sack, locking in the heat. This simple clay kiln is now transformed into a giant oven, radiating intense heat from all directions. Before long, the courtyard is filled with the rich aroma of baking. In just over 10 minutes, the mooncakes emerge from the clay oven, perfectly baked over firewood, with a crisp, golden crust and a soft, airy interior. The rich aroma of wheat fills the courtyard. Among them, the silver berry-filled mooncakes stand out with their unmistakable sweet tart flavor, a truly unique addition to the mooncake. It's the Mid-Autumn Festival, and Haibing plans to visit his grandfather in the countryside. But as a pastry chef at Dunhuang Hotel, he is busy preparing around 600 Pao'er fried lard cakes. Although mechanical grinding is much faster, seasoned chefs know that slow, manual grinding preserves the fullest aroma of dried ingredients. Using a rolling pin, walnuts, roses, sesame seeds, and peanuts are carefully crushed into a rich, fragrant filling, avoiding the high temperatures of machines that can affect their fragrance. The secret to making Pao'er fried lard cakes lies in the dough, which is prepared with specially rendered lard. First, the lard is melted with boiling water, then used to make a smooth, pliable dough before wrapping the filling.
我的手法是比较正确的，揉光之后啊，它有一个很光滑的一个感觉，感觉就什么那个丝绸膜上一样，是之类的。
As the cakes are put into the hot oil, they puff up almost instantly, forming delicate, veil-like bubbles. The bubbles multiply, enveloping the entire cake in a translucent, shimmering layer. This pastry traces its origins back to the imperial banquets of the Tang Dynasty, where it was known as Jianfeng Xiao, literally meaning vanishing at the touch of wind. In Dunhuang, it is called Pao'er fried lard cake. Beyond its exquisite appearance, its enticing aroma alone is enough to tempt the taste buds. With a crisp, delicate shell that shatters at the lightest touch, a buttery, golden crust, and a luscious, sweet filling, every bite offers a harmonious blend of textures, a symphony of flavors on the palate. The rolled-out flatbreads are each brushed with clear oil and dusted with a different kind of flour: tonka bean, sesame, turmeric, and rose petals, creating a dazzling array of colors and aromas. Each flatbread is then rolled up individually before being wrapped together in an outer layer and placed in the steamer. This colorful roll bears an auspicious name, Hongfu Jianjian, meaning prosperity roll. Once steamed and sliced, it reveals the inner colorful layers, unfolding like a festive ribbon being unwrapped.
晒太阳爷爷，拿了些好吃的给你，我搁家做好的，你看一下啥好吃的？你看，好吃的都是，哎，
啥东西啥子？
好吃的，走。 先尝一个牛一口，牛一口咋样？
An Haibing's grandfather, now 97 years old, still has a hearty appetite, and his favorite treats are the pastries made by his grandson.
哎呀，哎，这个还行呢。
我就是活的多年头。
100年。
Reuniting with his grandfather feels just as it always has, but his mother now rests in a world far beyond reach. In keeping with Dunhuang's traditional mourning customs, he has let his hair and beard grow.
走了，哎，再见，哎。
Like life itself, the countless flavors of food carry the full spectrum of human experiences: bitterness and sweetness, joy and sorrow, reunion and separation. On the night of the Mid-Autumn Festival, a full moon rises over the rural courtyard, casting its glow upon the land. In Dunhuang, the ancient moon worship ceremony, passed down through generations, remains simple yet sacred. Young and old alike offer their heartfelt wishes to the moon, praying for a world as serene and beautiful as the celestial palace above. Time flows, the stars shift, and yet only love and food continue to warm the human heart, making life itself irresistible.